What's up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and I'm here with
Gershwan!
Please forget I ever did that, because it's time for the greater.
Wow, that was actually a pretty good dab.
No, it's not.
I can't dab. I don't really understand the idea of dabbing.
I dab better when I have like a chicken nugget in my hand and some marinara sauce.
You put marinara in your chicken nuggets?
Well, you don't eat marinara on your chicken nuggets?
I'm sure that's delicious, but like I've never had the situation where I've had marinara and chicken nuggets at the same time.
Well, I guess you're right, yeah. Because every time they say, do you want barbecue with that? I'm like, do you have marinara?
And then they're like, this is McDonald's? There is no... Yeah, this is America, yeah. There is no... Well, okay. This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, simply comment down below. Put question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. And if your question's about marinara and chicken nuggets, then yeah, by all means, he's the #1 guy for that. Numero uno.
And our featured question, I lost,
is from Dragon Punch 903. He asks, will the Imperium benefit or lose if the machine spirit is actually created a god?
Ooh, so
because our argument is that the machine spirit is not a god. Now, if there is, so if there is a machine god, it would clash with everything else. It would clash with the Emperor. It would clash with
chaos.
Yeah, everything.
No, because there's rumors saying that the Omnissiah, the machine god, is actually the Void Dragon. And the Void Dragon's interred underneath Mars, and they're using that Catan power to fuel the machine spirit.
Now, let's say that the machine spirit or has already been manifested, but does it psychically, and it is the Catan. Well, he couldn't because the Catan is not psychic.
No, it's actually weak against psychic.
Yeah, so how would that work?
It wouldn't.
Oh.
Unless... because like if you praise something, that emotion still gets manifested in the warp.
True.
So maybe even though they're praising the Void Dragon, they don't know it's a Catan. So that thought is manifesting into its own warp entity in the warp.
Then yeah, that will come back around and bite them in the butt, basically. Mm-hmm. Because I think it would be like the Incarn, how like the Eldar created the Incarn, believing that it's going to be their
savior.
When in reality, I feel like there's something sinister, because it is still the god of death, so it would be like the machine god.
Or rebirth, isn't it? The god of rebirth?
Oh yeah, rebirth, but he's also like...
Yeah, it's wishy-washy.
Yeah, so like maybe it'd be like the machine god, the god of machines, but also the god of like non-sentient, non-organic things. I don't know how it works. Well, because the warp isn't organic, so I guess there could be a warp entity that's anti-organic.
I think the closest thing we got to something like this was with the Iron Warriors. They were all about repress your emotion, the flesh is weak, and that actually created a demon.
That is true.
Yeah. So that's a really interesting story, and I really liked it. Do we have a 40 facts?
That's what I was about to ask you, because you would have created that. I haven't created it.
No, I'll get to it. It's something I'm really looking forward to now.
Yeah, that's what would happen.
That's what's up.
Next question comes from Alucard Tepes. What's the latest mini you've painted? I painted this Onager Dune Crawler. It's okay.
I like it.
Yeah, it's fine. It's in my Inquisitor color scheme, because the Skitarii are part of the Inquisitor army, so it's like a teal with copper. And I wish there was more copper on the top, but there's no room for copper, so it is what it is.
Do you have your Inquisitor done yet?
No, he's not even painted. He's not even primed. What about you?
The last time I painted was like back in 5th edition. So.
Really? I thought you painted some of your one of your battle suits, no?
Mm-mm. Everything I've gotten, I've bought already painted, or I've had it commissioned.
What about you guys? What are you guys working on?
Let us know.
And hit us up on Instagram. Show us. You can, whenever you post something and you want to show it to us on Instagram, or if you just want to show it to us, you just have to put @OneMindSyndicate, and Instagram will notify us and let us see your images. So please do that. Next question.
Sage Pilgrim. What's that bust on that table behind you guys? And why do you have a bust at all? What happened to the car posters?
The
Flying colors.
I forgot about that. I'll put it up. It's somewhere around here. And then as far as that bust, I'm gonna build something out of it. No, it's supposed to be like terrain. So there is this really awesome artist who is it's gonna take me forever to find him. He does really good, awesome, like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just sculptures. And if you go, actually, no, he's not there. Okay, yeah, so he inspired me to create my own like gothic, grimdark terrain, and that's what I want to do with that bust. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Next. On to the next.
Next question comes from Cartez Drake. What if Vulcan came back with mastery of WAAAGH energy and the ability to control the orcs like the WAAAGH boss? Cool. Yeah, I don't think he could. I think we answered this in one of the videos last week. You probably haven't seen it yet. But, yeah, human can't control WAAAGH energy.
No. Well, I guess the closest thing was, what's his name? With the claw?
Oh, Commissar Yarrick?
Yarrick, yeah. But he's not really controlling the WAAAGH energy.
Nope, he's just such a badass that, like, the orcs fear him.
Fear me.
Next question. I have one from Kim Jensen. Is anything known about the two missing Primarchs?
Very little. So we know they existed. They had statues erected of them at a certain temple, because I believe it was Lorgar brought them up.
No. Well, yeah, I think a lot of people have brought him up. Gilman, Rogaldorn, Magnus, and Lorgar. During the Horus Heresy novels, they bring him up. And they talk about how, Lehman Russ does too, about how, like, they were there and now they're gone.
Yeah. There's a lot of rumors, a lot of theories as to what happened. One of the more well-known, it's almost canon, I think, that the Ultramarines, they had a huge bolster in their forces, and there's speculation that after the Edict of Obliteration got rid of one of the two legions, a large sum of those Marines got put into the Ultramarines.
Yeah, so their gene seed is still, like, floating around in one of the successor chapters.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, check out our 40 facts on the Lost Primarchs. We have, all the information that we know on there.
Yeah.
Next question comes from Morgan McCown. Is Ants Canada the God Emperor in disguise? Maybe. The Ants Canada guy, his name is Michael or Mikey Buños. And he looks like the Emperor. If the Emperor was Filipino. Next question.
Faking it 66. So Chaos Marines and Orcs often take heads as trophies. But would Space Marines take Chaos Space Marine heads as trophies too? Wouldn't this be unclean, and wouldn't this kind of mean that they'd be tainted with chaos? Is this heresy?
It's not heresy as long as they don't do rituals with it. There's a lot of Inquisitors that take trophies. So it would be okay for a Space Marine to do that.
What happened?
My calluses, and then I pinched it and it peeled back and it hurt a lot.
How uncouth of you.
Uncouth. But yeah.
I was gonna say, like, I think Space Marines do. I don't think it was Chaos, but I thought I saw some Space Marines with, like, I want to say they're like the White Scars that had skulls as, like, trophies. Kind of like a belt of skulls.
Oh, yeah. They collect the trophies of the people they've hunted, like the Predator. Yeah, so there you go.
There you go. And no, they're not corrupted. They're just prideful.
Next, or speaking about Chaos, Captain Sangre. He won our giveaway on the Chaos starter set, I believe. But he asks, if the Emperor was able to come back to life, would he fight against his God Emperor persona in the warp? Good question. Yeah, because he does hate the warp. He does hate anything that has to do with religion. So he would probably stop people from trying to, follow his religion. I think so. I think if he wanted to recreate the Imperial truth, he would, of course, have to fight himself. Because he himself is being manifested in the warp. I don't think GW is going to go that route, though.
Yeah, I don't see it happening. Although it'd be pretty cool to see what would happen.
Yeah. Pregunta próxima.
Sheldon Goodfellow. That's a nice, wholesome name.
Goodfellow.
When a person becomes a chaos spawn, is there any chance that they won't lose their sanity? I've read that when people get turned into one of those things, they lose themselves, their mind, their body, everything they once were is gone. So, if chaos does as chaos does, could there be a chance that by some miracle, for example, Slanesh or somebody, they turn them into a spawn, but they keep their mind?
Yeah.
Depending on what type of spawn you become. So basically, when you become a spawn, you're either getting too many chaos boons and it's just too much for your body and you just like explode into this monstrous form, or it's like you were my champion and now you've fallen. This is your punishment. So I guess it would make sense that if you've got too many buffs, you become into the spawn. Then maybe you still have your sanity. But not the other way around.
Yeah. Check out our 40 facts check out our horrible realities on the Chaos Space Marine, and I go down each individual Chaos God and what effect worshipping them has on a Space Marine. And that's just them worshipping. That's not even them becoming spawns. I think becoming a spawn is just a whole nother level where like you do just succumb to the Chaos God. Mm-hmm. You don't. It's like you are already not yourself when you start worshiping chaos. By the time you're a spawn, you're a shadow of your former self.
You fall in too deep into the rabbit's hole.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that you're berserk or you're crazy. You could still be like a sorcerer, like Arimon or something, that is like really deep into Tzeentch. But, you know. Yeah.
Deep into Tzeentch.
Next question.
Luke Lim. Okay, never mind. That's not a question. It's more of a comment. But we've got Lexington 476. How about a show in Planetary Defense Forces?
Yeah. I've always thought that it would be really cool if they created a 40K movie where they don't tell you that it's 40K and you don't find out until the very end.
How would you want to be like, oh, it's 40K?
I've always thought that a planetary defense force. So like you start watching it and then you start seeing that like they're being attacked by some creature, like, you know, it might be like some savage, like, you know, it would end up being the orcs. But you won't find out until like the last battle that it's the orcs. Or if like it's a sci-fi flick and they're talking about like possession and like basically like Event Horizon, and then at the very end, like an Inquisitor shows up and he says like, in the name of the Imperium of Man, or like the Space Marines show up at the end. Another movie idea I've had since you guys have been mentioning all this movie stuff is there's a movie that came out where there's a boy in prehistoric time who gets separated from his tribe and he has to find his way around like the wilderness with his dog.
The Good Dinosaur? Oh, I was going to say The Good Dinosaur?
No, it's not The Good Dinosaur. But it would be cool to have something like that with like a darker twist to it, and like it's a boy trying to make his way through Fenris, and you don't find out that it's Fenris until the end when the boy dies and he gets resurrected by a wolf priest, who turns him into an Astarte because like he's done like all these feats of strength through his journey back home or something. Because like with Fenris, every season the tribes have to move, so it's that pilgrimage that he does by himself that shows his worthiness to the tech priests, or to the wolf priests, and you won't know until the very end when they say like they're the sky gods, and then it's like
Sky Warriors or
Sky Warriors, and then it's like they have like a wolf helm, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, that would be cool. And then last question, Marcel Goussard. What is the most brutal hardcore 40K story? For me, it would be the Demon Kulaba.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal.
Check out our 40 facts on that. It hurts.
I mean that's the only thing I could think of, like brutal.
It's the most disgusting thing ever. check it out and see for yourself.
Yeah, you're gonna regret it instantly.
But those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, comment down below.
As always, don't forget to put question before your question because we get to those questions first. If there's a question that you really enjoyed and you want us to get to it, make sure you hit that thumbs up button so we can push it up so we can get to it quicker.
This is Gershwin.
Sound Alchemist, and we are out.